Hi everyone, welcome to another Nature Walks video. You join me today in the churchyard once again, and I want to show you this today. So I'm going to show you something that's growing on a tree. So I'm not actually too interested in showing you the tree itself, although the tree is important what it is, and you might be able to recognize what it is actually just by the leaf shape of it silhouetted. But maybe to make it a bit easier for you, let's show you it a bit closer up. So this is the tree we're having a look at. You might recognize the leaf shape. This is probably one of our most loved and recognizable trees. This is an oak tree. So there's several species of oak with all similar looking leaves, but I'm not going to go into that today because what I'm interested in showing you is what is growing on the underside of some of these leaves. So just want to show you, you can see that there's lots of these little dots growing on the underside of some of these leaves. See them there, just growing on the underside. Now this is what a normal leaf should look like. It shouldn't have anything growing it. So this is a bit out of the ordinary. So I guess the question is, what's happened to it? What's gone on there, and why are these dots underneath it? Well, usually when something like this happens, it's pretty much down to one group called the Gall Wasps. So Gall Wasps, essentially, the way that they finish their life cycle is by injecting their eggs inside plants that then form these swellings or these growths that we call galls. So let's have a bit of a closer look. Where's a nice easy one to have a look at? Let's have a go with, there you go, nice and easy. So these are the galls. They're very pretty actually, these ones. So as I said, what tends to happen is an adult gall wasp, which are pretty poorly named actually, because I think gall wasps don't really look like wasps. They look a little bit more like a flying ant, and they're very secretive, so you generally don't tend to see them. They're very small, and they're in and out pretty quickly when they're sort of setting up and laying these galls. But essentially, yeah, so a gall wasp comes along, will land on whatever plant it's going to parasitize, and it lays its egg using its ovipositor into the cells of this plant. And what happens is it's got this amazing ability to change the way that the plant genetically develops in order to create this gall, which is a protective casing for its larvae, which is inside. So each one of these little dots here is a gall, and inside each one is a larvae that is busily feeding on the tissue of the oak leaf. So it's a pretty good way of parasitizing and protecting yourself while your little larvae grows on the inside. Now what I find particularly interesting about these galls here, these are from a species called a Spangled gall wasp. So you might have recognized that it's kind of got a spangle like shape to it. I actually think they look a little bit more like a fried egg. So they've got a nice rim around the outside and then a yellow yolk in the middle. And these ones at the moment are quite red. So these are quite mature. So they probably get laid sometime in June when they're a lot more creamy coloured, and as they mature they go this red colour. But that egg yolk is a pretty good way of remembering Spangled gall wasp. But what's particularly cool is about their life cycle. So they actually complete their life cycle in 2 stages. So essentially these ones that we've got here are the finished product for this year, and what will happen is that they will stay on the leaf until autumn when the leaves drop and they fall on the floor, and they'll continue to develop and munch away at the leaf all the way through the winter until April next year, when females will hatch out of these galls. It'll only be females, and it'll be asexual females, so they will not be looking for males to mate with because there won't be any. So that the way they do it is that they produce their own gall in April by laying and parasitizing in the catkins of the oak tree. And they form what we call a currant gall, so it looks like a little bit like a berry or a currant growing on the tree. And from these currants or these berries will produce sexual Spangled gall wasps, so males and females, which will then sexually mate, and then they will be the ones that will lay these spangled galls ready to reset that cycle, so that then next year the asexual females will be produced in April. So pretty complicated sexual history, and I'm not 100% sure why they don't just have asexual generation in April, but there must be a reason. So worth having a look and see if you can find out. If I find out, I'll let you know in another video. But I think pretty cool thing to sort of attempt to do, complicated life cycle. So anyway, so have a good look. As I said, they're all on these underside of these leaves. There's loads and loads of them. You can see how many. They don't do any damage necessarily to the tree. So the tree is nice and healthy. Unless this was a really young tree, then it might suffer, but you can get anything up to 100 on a leaf, but generally it's more like sort of 20 to 50 is the general, and fairly easy to find. So have a look, see if you can find any, and have a look and see what other galls you can identify. All right, hope you enjoyed that, and speak to you soon. Bye.